Hey gang, welcome back to Films from A to Z. Today is the letter M. We'll be watching, well, I already did watch, Mildred Pierce, a film noir, which I still really don't have any idea what that means, but I'm trying my best to get into these, and with this being a very, very good one, this may, it may help me get through these. So I looked up the definition of film noir, and it says a style or genre of film marked by mood, pessimism, fatalism, and menace. American thriller detective films made between 1944 and 1945, originally applied term by French critics. So, that just, to me, I guess I could go with that, but I really don't think that that's enough for me. So, 1945, directed by Michael Cruz, who directed a frickin' ton of great movies. Casablanca, White Christmas, Adventures of Robin Hood, Jazz Singer, and blah, 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 blah. The list goes on. Starring Joan Crawford, of course, who actually won an Oscar for Best Leading Lady, which was very, very well deserved in this. This is also, from what I read, Joan Crawford's favorite film that she had done herself, had been in herself. So that's kind of interesting. It's also starring Jack Carson, Zachary Scott, Eve Arden, Anne Blythe, and Bruce Bennett, which every single person on that list was absolutely amazing in this film. Interesting fact, this made more than half of Warner Brothers' profits the year that it came out. And that's crazy. And other than, from what I read, other than just a quick spot in another movie, this is actually Miss Crawford's first Warner Brothers film, so it was a good start. The screenplay was altered, actually, in the end. I'm not going to spoil the ending for you, but the ending was changed due to double indemnity. My tongue is tied tonight. It made such an impact that they had to change the ending to make it more film noir, maybe? I don't know. But basically, Mildred Pierce, she's an everyday housewife. Her husband is leaving her. She decides to go into business by herself, or actually she gets a job, secretly from her daughter, because her daughter is this little whiny bitch that needs everything in the world. And Joan, Mildred can't produce everything that this girl needs. So she gets a job, and she tries to hide it from her because she's a waitress, and she thought her daughter, well, actually her daughter does, look really down upon that. So sooner or later she makes enough money, and she starts her own restaurant, which just thrives. And I think throughout the film she says something about she started 5 restaurants, as a chain for this one thing. And she's interested in one man's interested in her, and goes on and goes on and goes on, and she marries this guy named Monty, and from that point, everything is just starting to turn dark. You kind of get a hint to it before that, but at that point, it's dark, and that's what I really loved about this film. Everybody's performance was great. This was a very, very it was a DVD copy that I don't know how old it was, or when the DVD came out, but it was a fairly good picture. You could really tell that this film looks really good. If I had a Blu-ray, I would say that this is a very, very good film. I think this might be on. Matter of fact, I know it's on Criterion. I think Ian showed me his copy, which is on Criterion. So I don't know if that'll be a future purchase for me, since I'm not an upgrade person anymore. But the Blu-ray would really, really help this film out. The sound is great. The picture is great. It's got dark when it needs to be dark, light when it needs to be light. I mean, it's almost perfect as far as cinematography. You know what the fuck I'm saying. I can't talk, I told you. I gotta say something. Joan Crawford she's not one of my favorite actresses, but I do really like her. In the feud between her and Bette Davis, I kind of lean towards Bette Davis as an actress. I can't really pick it out in my head why that is, but that's just kind of the way I lean. Bette Davis actually turned this film down, so she was probably really happy that Joan Crawford got a Oscar out of this, which would have been the same performance. I don't know if I could see Bette Davis in this film though. I'm just not sure it would be just as good. Joan Crawford was just kind of meant for this role, I think. Now there is a mini series I seen that was when I was looking at pictures. It was, I can't remember. Kate Winslet plays her. It's like a 5-part miniseries. I have no desire to watch this. I just don't want to be totally disappointed. But, yeah. So I highly recommend this film. If you guys haven't seen it, this is my first loving of film noir. So I hope I can find more. If you guys have any recommendations, I would highly, highly, highly like that. So, that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I tried to do a voiceover this time instead of just shooting a video. And, we'll see how it works. So until next time, guys, later. Thanks for watching, and game over.